What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video, we are going to take a look at Bitcoin, and I'm sure you know that all of this was caused by manipulation, and if you don't know that this was caused by manipulation, then I'm just going to tell you straight up, this is caused by institutional manipulation. And right now, this video is going to answer a few questions, namely, what is going to be next? Is the dump over? Are we going to go straight up or are we going to go straight down? And if you want to know the exact entries that I'm looking out for Bitcoin over the next few days, then you're going to want to watch this video to the end. Now, just to give you a little bit of proof that I know what I'm talking about, I want you to go back to my Twitter, and if you're not already following me on Twitter at _theartofcrypto, when I came up with this trade, I was applying an institutional trading concept. So basically, I called that the price would get rejected at exactly this level at 35,700, and if you just go back to your chart, you can see that the price came straight up to right about 36k and dumped to about 28.8, which is my next zone of it's my next POC. And that's not the only one. Yesterday I called a Bitcoin entry at 32,800, and look at the price, came down to 32,800, bounced, 32,300, came down to 32,300, bounced. So this is all based on an institutional trading perspective, and it's just a little bit of proof that I know what I'm talking about. So right now, let's get into Bitcoin. So to kick things off, we have to first discuss one thing. So if we just take a look at the weekly chart, you can see that let's just mark this area as a weekly low, as well as this area as a weekly low. In fact, this is a weekly low as well. Basically, these three levels right here are weekly lows, and you can see if we go back to the daily chart, we pretty much broke through all three weekly lows, and then in one single move, if I just go back to the 4 hourly, you can see that in just one single move we have broke through 3 weekly lows, which is very significant for Bitcoin, and is the reason why I'm saying that Bitcoin is in full-on reversal mode right now, but probably not full-on, because there's still that bearish possibility that I have to discuss, and you're going to want to stick around for that. So at the moment, because we have broke through 3 weekly lows in one move, I am bullish on Bitcoin, and people are going to be bearish on Bitcoin. And I'm just going to tell you, one word of advice straight up: do not try to short this right now, because we have broke through 3 levels at in one move. It's really bullish. Trust me, you might think that, oh hey, it's coming up to previous resistance, so it's time to short. Yeah, you can do that, but my word of advice is that shorts right now, because the impulse is towards the upside, if you try to short right now, sure, you can get 2-3% moves, but the risk to reward ratio is not going to be in your favor. So there's a saying where you trade with the trend. So the trend, at least in the short term, and by short term I mean on the 4 hourly chart, it is definitely leaning towards going to the upside, and so the impulse is bullish, so you do not want to trade against the bullish trend. At the moment, right, you can look at this and be like, oh hey, it broke out of this pattern, come back down to retest, and that's how I got the entry. I mean, yeah, that's part of the reason how I got the entry, but not really, and I'm going to discuss that. So straight up, because we're in a bullish environment right now, if we just bring up the VPVR indicator, you can in fact see again that most of the liquidity is actually around this area, this zone right here, in between 38k to right about 36k. And there's a few reasons why this is significant. So let's discuss this. So previously, when we were dumping down to 28k, the reason why I foresaw the dump was because I saw a lot of liquidity being placed down here. So if I just turn off the VPVR, if you just take a look at this swing low right here, I'm just going to draw it out right below there. So imagine if you were going long on Bitcoin, let's say, it came down to retest support, right? You would have thought, hey, Bitcoin came down to retest support, and we formed a double bottom. So the realistic expectation is for Bitcoin to go up, and that is exactly where you will start to fall into the trap of institutions, because the markets, right? If there's one thing you take out of this video, is that the markets will always seek out liquidity, right? They will always seek out the areas with the highest amount of liquidity. So for example, if you went long on any point here, right, as long as you went long, let's ask yourself, where would you place your stop loss? I would assume that it'd be right down here, correct? Because, it's a previous swing low, it's support, and then there's the double bottom. So realistically, you would have placed your stop loss right here. So that is exactly the reason why the price dumped. Liquidity was below, so you dump. And then, not only do you have liquidity at this area right here, but you have liquidity right below this area. Right, notice how price came down here to find support, right? when you find support, you'd be thinking like, oh hey, you know, it's support. That's exactly the reason why you do not want to be going long here. Like, for example, like just to go back to my advice about not taking a short, is that, you know, because the trend is generally downwards, if you go long, like sure, you can catch like those 3 to 5% moves, but the trend is towards the downside. Imagine if you were shorting the entire way, which, by the way, if you were in the private Discord group, I actually called the exact top at 41,400. And just to give you a little bit of insight about what this private group is, it's basically where I'm calling like actually sniper entries, right? Back then, AVAX, I said that if it broke this level, it would dump by 40%. And if I just go onto the profits page, man, it really dumped, right? This guy made 600% of AVAX, you know, just massive profits every single day. So if you're interested in joining the Discord group, I'm actually closing this in about, like once we hit about 200 members or so, because it's already getting pretty lively in this Discord server, and I want to be able to dedicate focused attention to every single member here, and I cannot do that if there are too many people. The link is in the description. If you pay with crypto right now, you can actually get up to 40% off right here if you pay with crypto. So guys, there's only about 30 spots remaining. You're going to want to sign up before I close this group. But for now, let's get back to Bitcoin. So trend is generally downwards like back then, but now I would say that the trend is upwards. And just to give you like a few, just to give you another explanation other than, you know, the fact that it broke through 3 weekly lows in one move, you can see that over here you have a swing high, right? Basically this candle right here was taller than the previous 2 candles, right? It had a higher high. So this is a swing high. So notice how in this move, we broke through that swing high, and now we are forming a swing low, right? This candle is lower than these 2 candles. So we just formed a higher low. So in this instance, Bitcoin is bullish right now. So I would, like, it's just in the immediate short term, right? On the higher time frame, we are not bullish yet. And I'm going to explain what to look out for on the higher time frame, such as the daily, in order to confirm that Bitcoin is absolutely bullish. So back to like the previous example that I was talking about, right? The reason why I was able to foresee this crash is because liquidity was here, right? And this wasn't the end of it. Back then, before this crash happened, there was still a lot of volume right below this level, right? Especially the moment when price came down here to find support. I guarantee you people were thinking like, oh, this level is strong support, guys. It's the range low. It's time to go long here. No, that's exactly what the whales want you to think. Because if you went long here, where would you put your stop loss? Right below here. It's so predictable. Guys, retail is predictable. So for real, if you want access to seriously these kinds of trading setups where I'm actually like absolutely sniping the tops and the bottoms, you're going to want to join the private Discord group. Seriously, you're going to make your money back real quick. So now that I've explained what I was looking for, let's bring up the VPVR indicator yet again, and let's discuss this. So back then, liquidity was all below here. And right now, you can see that liquidity is up top. Because right now, we are in a bearish environment, alright, there's 2 things that can happen. First is everyone's going to try to go short once we reach resistance. And at the moment, if you just go by like the traditional retail way of thinking, you would probably assume that this level at 36k is going to be resistance, right? That is the traditional way of thinking, because, you know, we have a previous swing top here, and probably a lot of people are going to try to go short here. And if you are thinking the same thing, I am just going to warn you right now, you are going to get wrecked if you go short there. Like, you're probably going to get like a 3% move downwards in that short, but no more than that. And just to give you a previous example of why I think that is going to happen, is just take a look at this move right here. So after this massive dump down to 31k, where we stopped out all the liquidity down below, you know that the liquidity is now all above, because the people who are going short is probably going to set their stop loss over here, and over here. And so, because the liquidity is up top, and remember I say that the market seeks out liquidity. Okay, the market seeks out liquidity. Look what happened. Everyone went short here, including myself. I got wrecked. Okay, let's just say that. So, for real, am I saying that this is exactly going to happen again? I mean, nothing's confirmed until it's confirmed, right? But I'm just giving you a possibility right now that, you know, because we have shifted into a bullish, you know, structure on a lower time frame, right? This is just low time frame stuff. If you want to really confirm this, you're going to need to take a look at the daily chart. And now I'm actually going to get into the daily chart and tell you exactly what I'm looking for. So in order for Bitcoin to like really be bullish, we need to first break a previous swing high, which I know the previous swing high is all the way up here at 41,400. So wouldn't that seem a little bit far-fetched to say that, you know, Bitcoin is going to go all the way up there? So that is the issue that I have with Bitcoin right now. And chances are I'm going to need a few more days of price action to develop before I can confidently say that, you know, market structure, you know, market direction is up, or if market direction is down. For now, on the lower timeframes, we have switched to a bullish structure, but on the higher timeframes, we are still a long way away, and I'm talking like 20% away from confirming a bullish structure. So here's preferably what I'm looking for. So remember how I talked about swing highs and swing lows, where, you know, one candle is, you know, taller than the two previous candles, and for a swing low, this candle has to be shorter, right, lower than the previous two candles before it. So what I'm looking for is a new, like right now we have formed a swing low, right? So right now we want a swing high to form, and we want a swing low to form, and preferably this swing low should be taller than this swing low. So this would sort of confirm our bullish expectations for Bitcoin. And if it can do that with the swing high breaking through this resistance right here at about 36k, if we form the swing high above 36k, it can be a wick like this, right? It doesn't have to be a candle body, but it can be a wick. Okay, as long as we achieve that, right, a wick through this level, I will say that Bitcoin is bullish as long as we form a swing low after that, right? That is a higher low, okay? Higher low, you see here. Now, here's why I think so. First off, if you take a look at this red line right here, this is what you call a point of control on the daily chart, right? Basically, all it means is that a lot of people are going to be taking trades at around this level. This is an area where price action is highly developed, which means there is going to be a lot of back and forth fighting between the bulls and bears between these two levels right here, from 38k to 36k. So if we are able to break through this point of control, even if it's just a little bit, then it's bullish, right? It's bullish because not only is that a point of control, but at the moment, it is also a, you know, a weekly, no, is this a weekly? Or is it, okay, no, it's not a weekly or monthly low or a high, but it is a daily high, which is significant as well. It's not as significant as a weekly or monthly high, but, you know, daily, it's still a higher time frame. So right now, all I'm saying, right, if all you take away from this video is just understand, do not short right now, because liquidity is all up here right now. You're going to get a 3 to 5% move, which again, if you're on say 20x, then that's about 60 to 100%. So it could still be profitable. Just remember to take some profits. And, you know, I will be making more videos about, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum and Cardano and whatever, just to update you guys. But for now, I would say that unless you know exactly how to snipe entries like I do, and, you know, I will be posting some of those setups on Twitter, so make sure you follow me on Twitter. I do not suggest you to be overly aggressive in trading right now, because simply because we are in a no trade zone right now. At the moment, it does seem like we're about to form a swing high, and if we do form it here, I mean, it's not going to be pretty, right? I mean, it's not going to be the most beautiful, but as long as we do get a high low, then like after we get the high low, I want to see us break, you know, like break this level, right, in the next move. And if we get that, holy, I do foresee Bitcoin going back to 50k easily, right? Easily. But in order to get that, we are going to need at least about, you know, a week's worth of price action before we can see something, you know, solid that forms here. So for now, that is the plan. And for now, I would really suggest you to join the private Discord group if you want, like, you know, just guidance, right? When most of the people out here were losing their money and losing their minds, like literally nobody in the private Discord group lost any money. Like, I'm not even joking. Hopefully, we are the only private Discord group that has managed to do this, because we have literally played this dip to perfection. We shorted the ones that should be shorted, and we went long on the ones that should be longed. And right now, we are literally just sniping. Man, this entry right here at 35,800, I called that, right, to the dollar. Look what happened. Over here, I predicted the top at 41,400, literally, like the exact top. And look what happened. Basically, if you just find yourself like always panicking during, you know, dumps, and you just don't want to be losing money from this again, I would really suggest you to join the private Discord group. And, you know, you're not just going to get access to the calls that I'm making, but at the same time, you're going to get access to a world-class trading education that is going to guarantee that you become a proficient trader. So these spots are limited for sure. I'm closing this just a little bit over 200 members. So if you pay with crypto right now, you're going to get up to 40% off. So yeah, spots are limited. The link is in the description. Sign up right now. And you know, with that said, for now, be patient, and on the lower time frame at least, this is a bullish structure right now. And you know, you might think that if you were a pattern trader, you might think, oh hey, you know, falling wedge, you know, breakout and retest, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, it applies right now. Right, it applies. Just trust me. You can go long, right? At least for the next couple of days, perhaps until Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. And you know, you can short if you want to, but I don't suggest it. Right, risk to reward ratio is not going to be in your favor. So, you know, I hope you found this video helpful. If you watched until this point, by the way, comment down in the comment section sniper, so that I know exactly who are the real ones, who appreciates you know the fact that I do such an in-depth analysis and give you practical advice. And drop a like while you're at it. May the gains be with you. Stay safe and peace, my friend.